Hello, ladies. Nice to meet you. Hi. Anna, this is your directorial debut. Why was this the first movie you wanted to direct?
Yeah, it's a little strange because I am like mostly associated with like a lighthearted musical comedy series. I felt really passionate about this story and this script. You know, I'm interested in true crime, I think, as we all are a tiny bit. But this script was actually so beautiful. It's strange to say that, but it had this emotional layer to it, and it really seemed to like capture all of these women in this really beautiful way, and I wanted to honor that and you know, hopefully also make it entertaining and scary and funny in places. There was just so much about the script that I loved, and I found myself getting really obsessed with the script. So yeah, about 6 weeks before hard prep for the movie was supposed to start, you know, there was a kind of like last minute crazy situation, and I raised my hand and was like, I mean, I don't know, you guys, do you think I should do it? But if you think it's a bad idea, that's totally fine. So like I pitched myself, but it was probably the most ambivalent pitch in the history of Hollywood. Because like you're supposed to, you know, have a bunch of swagger and false confidence and be like, I'm the only one who could pull this off. But I just wanted to like do whatever was best for the movie.
I've been on this show since 1968. The one thing I've learned is, no matter what words they use, the question beneath the question remains the same.
What's the question?
Which one of you will hurt me?
The casting was so good. Why was she the perfect choice for Laura?
Oh my goodness.
I know, making you gush about her in front of her.
I know. I mean, I think, you know, Nicolette, well, it really is wild. Like, Nicolette has the best energy, and there's this beautiful thing where she's so vulnerable, but there's so much strength in her. You know, she feels incredibly grounded and like someone you could lean on, who would support you, and yet who doesn't lead with a kind of, you know, false assurance, I guess. You know, as you're seeing all these tapes and, you know, when someone really like catches your eye, I wrote down like Nicolette Robinson, so beautiful, so vulnerable. Yeah, I mean, I was really asking a lot of Nicolette because the part is really emotional. It's the most emotional part in the movie, but it also can't be one note or it won't keep you engaged. So, you know, she really had like a marathon to run, and you have to keep it interesting while you're running a marathon. I mean, it was really a tall order, and you know, just watching her perform every day was wonderful.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
And I mean, I agree, because from the first time you're on camera, it's even the things you say without saying anything at all was really moving. And to kind of piggyback the script, it's a great script, but what were your first thoughts when you read it and you learned that your character really doesn't have a lighthearted moment in the movie?
I just cared so deeply about this character as I was reading it. I just wanted to know what was going to happen to her and the people around her, and I was just sucked in. I think whenever a character hits me like that, you know, it gets my heart into it. I felt like I just knew her in some way, you know, and so I was just like, if I get the opportunity to help tell this story, it would be such a dream.
Yeah, we've mentioned before, you had emotional scene after emotional scene after emotional scene. There's a really pivotal one where you tell your boyfriend what happened to your friend, and he doesn't really believe you.
Yeah.
How hard was it, if any, to kind of shake off your character or those moments when Anna called cut?
Challenging at times, but I will say, and I've been saying this a lot, that the set was just such a beautiful atmosphere, and I think it starts from the top down. This one really made everybody feel like they wanted to be a part of telling this story, and everybody there really, really wanted to be there, and we all just loved coming to work every day. And so to have that kind of an atmosphere after you yell cut, you've got a lot of support, especially this one. I mean, she'd be the first one, just tears streaming down her face and come
so
with like a big hug, and like, you know, there's nothing better than being on set as an actor and feeling validated in that way, because you don't often get that. So.
And it must have been nice to know that she was an actress too before.
Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, you've both been on plenty of sets before, but what was some things that you wanted to bring on from other sets to your set now?
Oh God. Well, I mean, I guess the thing that I, sort of think about with like working with actors, for the first time as a director, I do think that I had the advantage of having like a real shorthand with actors, not because I speak the secret language, because like there isn't one.
She does.
But because like there was a built-in thing that whatever I was asking someone to do, it was like, I know how much I'm asking of you. I've been in this position. It's so hard. It's so weird. People are standing around and I'm asking you to like take your skin off and like turn your brain inside out. And, I hope that just like the level of like gratitude that I had was kind of baked in, just because like, it felt like the unsaid piece was like, I've been in your position and I know how hard that is. So, I know that like in the middle of a really, really emotional scene to say, some stupid thing about like camera blocking felt like so annoying. But hopefully that thing is built in of like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but it's the best thing. It's like having that person in your corner, like whether it's somebody that's like, you got something in your teeth, you need that girlfriend, but also just somebody who just understands film on both sides so much like Anna does. You just trust her. You just trust that she's gonna get the shot that she needs for the film to make it the best that it can possibly be.
Yeah, and I want to talk really quick about the script, because there was some dialogue that had my jaw on the floor, just of the way that certain characters were talking to either one of you, and during your audition scenes, during the actual telecast, and it's a sad reality of how people were treated back then, and sadly still are now. But as a director, why was it important that you didn't sugarcoat it and that you kept the dialogue so direct?
Yeah, well, I mean, there are like a couple of little Easter eggs from the movie that are lifted from my life. So, the movie takes place in the 1970s, but I stole pieces, of my life that are from not that long ago. So, these things still happen. People do still, speak to people in that way. But, I mean, even, the scene in the car that I love with her boyfriend when he doesn't believe her, he's being so sweet about it, and it really gets under your skin. And there was like, I remember Mac, the actor, asking me like, should I be like more cold and dismissive? And I was like, no, I think it's more heartbreaking that like he really loves her and he just does not know how to show up for her in the way that she needs. And I was glad at the premiere the other night when he starts talking about how he doesn't believe you, and he's doing it in the nicest voice. You could feel the audience like, oh, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
Which, it's so funny also looking back, sitting in the audience and hearing the audience's response, because as we're making it, I had no idea that people were going to respond in the way that they did. They were so vocal throughout the film. Which
well,
was
can
so
I embarrass
exciting.
Nicolette for a second and say, when she tells, spoiler, sorry, when she tells him to get out of the car, the audience exploded in applause. She got a full applause break in the middle of a movie. We love that.
I don't know if that was me.
It was amazing.
It was you. It was a choice. It was good. No, I agree. When I was watching that scene, I was like, this little. And then when someone said kick him out, I was like, yes, because sometimes you don't see that all the time in film, and women being so like, no, get out, and holding her stance. But then it is complicated because the whole rest of her story, she's carrying that thing of like, did I do the right thing? Should I have just been nicer? And then she's trying to be really nice with everybody. It's sometimes we're put in really difficult positions and we're trying to like find the right tone and the right phrase to get our voices heard, and no one wants to listen. Yeah. You've worked with so many actors turned directors. Is there one specific person that phoned you up right before that gave you some good advice?
I can remember working with John Krasinski, and the way that he really offered himself up as a director really, really helped me. I remember him talking to me very vulnerably about, even just his own life, and it would really inform the scenes that we did, and it made you feel so safe in that limited window that you have to like, get to know the character, get to know the director, and just immediately jump into working together.
Did you just take my picture?
Erase it. I guess I'm probably not the kind of person you're normally friends with.
Oh, you do not want to be friends with me. Trust me.
You just wrapped filming A Simple Favor 2,
Yes.
Italy.
Yeah.
The ending of the first movie, which I think everybody agrees was freaking insane. What were your initial reactions when you read the script for the sequel?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, if anything, I know that this is such a cliche, and I know that everybody says this, and the thing I'm about to say, I always roll my eyes when I hear people say this, but the sequel is so much crazier. But I like wouldn't say that if I wasn't confident that you would see it and be like, what on earth? So Paul, I will say, I'm a little bit joking about Paul being known for lighthearted things. There is like a reserve of dark material in his brain, because he really brings the crazy in a way that you're like, there's no way this can work, right? But it does. I don't know. He's got some magic stuff going on upstairs.
It does. And walk me through the first day back on set working with Blake. Was it easy to kind of snap back into those characters?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We were even talking about how like these characters have such crazy chemistry. Even though we both feel very different from our characters, and again, sometimes the situations that we're in are pretty crazy, and we are like, are people going to get on board with this? This is so nuts. But yeah, there's some weird magic thing with those two characters, so it's really fun to just like snap back into that.
Yeah, and you got to shoot it in Italy.
In Italy, which
right?
was hard.
Yeah,
it was
that's
hard.
Not a bad so bad for you.
Not a bad place.
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you.
Really sorry.
I appreciate your support at this difficult time.
Yeah, it's hard. Okay, so now we're going to play a little game called Behind the Gram / Complete the Tweet. So I will be showing you some tweets or grams, and you'll just...
Very nerve-wracking.
So the first one, we're going to complete this tweet that's very iconic from you.
Oh, no.
It's holy blank. I just remembered I was in Twilight.
I think it was holy shit.
Yeah. Did you really forget you were in Twilight?
Okay, so obviously I didn't literally forget the experience of filming Twilight, but there is, honest to God, a real thing where that franchise took on such a kind of like cultural thing.
I was part of that, yes. I loved that movie growing up.
And in some ways, when people are talking about like the phenomenon that is and was Twilight, they're not talking about me showing up for 30 seconds and going like, what are you guys talking about? You guys are being weird. I'm going to go. So, I found myself like referencing Twilight as though I was not in it. You know what I mean? Like when I would be like, yeah, like there's this book series that they're trying to make into a movie. I think they want it to be like the next Twilight. And I would be like, oh God, I'm in those. Oh, shut up, Anna. Don't bring up that. So in some ways, I do feel like, oh, right, I'm in those. Like, but I feel very removed from the kind of like obsessive craziness of it, because like no one cares about like the human chick at school.
Jessica was so funny. She was a scene stealer.
But I think like if people showed up and played one of the supernatural characters, like vampire, werewolf, even if they had like one line, it's like people were obsessed with them. Like they couldn't walk down the street, and then it would be like, oh, you're in it too. Which I was, believe me, I saw how crazy that stuff was, so I was very happy to just be on the peripheral.
I was going to ask if you were happy to be kind of close enough to it, but far enough removed.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, wow, this is a fascinating thing to get a front row seat to, and I'm so glad I'm not in the center of the stadium.
True. Okay, the next one is a picture I'm going to show you. A lovely note. It's an old throwback.
Oh my God, that is so long ago.
I deep stalked you, both of you.
I feel that must have, I mean, I hope that's from my husband.
It is from your husband. It is from your husband. I was going to say, do you remember what it said, or does he leave little cute notes for you often?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he when he wants to be, he can be romantic. I mean, he's many, many things, but I think that must have been when he like just left a random card on the bed. Like a sweet little, I know. I was like,
oh, I thought you were going to say that was like a proposal or something.
It was just like an I love you, and
that's like
here's what I love about you. I'm very lucky. It's very sweet.
How did you two meet?
You should get one of those every day.
I should.
I'm gonna call him up.
Yeah. Tell him to step it up.
He's setting the bar high for any future husband I have.
Yes. Oh yeah. We met a long time ago. I was in my junior year at UCLA, and I auditioned for my first professional production of an equity show, theater show, and Billy Porter was directing it, and Les, my husband, was in it, and he was assistant directing with Billy, and so he was in the audition room when I auditioned, and we ended up doing the show together, and we ended up hanging out, and we, kept it going.
Married, have kids, life is good.
Yeah.
This one of you.
Oh, in my awesome
Your
wig.
bangs.
I know.
Oh yeah, with your bangs.
Yeah, that was Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. There was something about that set and that character and that wig that really brought out my desire to behave like an absolute urchin.
It's because bangs give you edge. As a bang girl, bangs give you edge.
I need to watch that movie. Somebody was just telling me how hilarious you are in that
I haven't
film.
seen it in years.
I need to watch
Do you
that.
talk to any of
She
the people that
texted
are
Aubrey texted me like this afternoon.
Oh,
I'm not
right.
even joking. I was like, and because I just went and saw her movie in theaters, the My Old Ass.
Oh, I hear
So
that's
I was
great.
gonna, and I was one of those things where I forgot to take a picture of the ticket stubs, and then you're like, well, what do I do? Just say like I saw it. It's so good,
Yeah.
But then she texted me, congrats about this movie. So now I'm like, I have to be like, I saw the movie. It was so good. But yeah, but now even more. It seems like I'm just making that up.
No.
No. You don't need the receipt. She'll believe you. She'll believe you. She'll believe you.
Totally.
This next one, a very special picture.
Oh, that was the best ever. That was when I made my Broadway debut in Waitress, and that was when I walked to Times Square and saw the billboard for the first time, which is like, I'm sure you've had many billboards of yourself in Times Square, but like, it's massive. It's like, have you ever, you have, right?
I don't know. I guess I don't know because I guess I haven't like gone down to be like, is it there?
It's
Because what if I got caught?
Oh yeah, I know. But
But I think there's, but that's like, but I think if you got caught, people would be like, girl, you're a
no,
Broadway,
I mean,
that's
people had,
amazing.
yeah, I mean, nobody knew who I was when I was there, but then they'd see me standing
they'd be
awkwardly
like,
in front
"Look!"
of it, and they're like, oh, great.
You just wear the Jenna outfit and you're like, is that, oh my God, have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
This picture of you in the Pitch Perfect girl.
Oh my God. Oh, I know. I mean, it's those babies. We got our choreography, like, it's weird. They bring us down there for each of these movies. They would bring us down there to whichever location we were at, and have us rehearse for many, many weeks. And then there would always be at least one number where they hadn't decided on the music. So we had not learned our music. We hadn't recorded the music. We hadn't done anything, and that would happen really last minute. And then the choreographer would have to come up with the choreography and teach it to us. And so that was like the weekend before we had to film whatever scene this was. I want to say that would have been, just based on everybody's position, I would say that was maybe finale of Pitch 2. But yeah, we were on our weekend trying to hang out and relax, and we were all so stressed about the choreography that it was like, can we just stand up and try to do it? And so someone took a picture because we were, doing the dances on our day off.
That movie, I mean, there's several of them, right? So, do you have a favorite memory from all of those movies combined?
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, maybe shooting the finale of the third one, because, we knew there was, a real chance it was the last one. And it really felt like a moment where we were like, oh man, we're family. In the truest sense, we didn't choose each other, and we're a part of each other's lives. People are going to talk to us about this franchise forever, and they're going to, be connected forever. And that's the day that Rebel was like, guys, we should all go to Mexico. So then we took a trip to Mexico, some real sorority sister stuff. Because I'd never been in a sorority, and so it was a really nice, and we were all sobbing. It was so embarrassing.
Yeah. And now Rebel's a mom, and she's married. Have you talked to her since those big?
We texted since the wedding, but I haven't seen her in person yet. But yeah, we're all so overjoyed for her, and I remember meeting Ramona and just being like, oh my god, you guys, I think this is real.
Yeah.